Coming live from the studio, this is All Sports with Gerardo. Thank you for watching another episode of All Sports. This is your host, Gerardo. On the show today, I am going to talk about my experience at TruistPark. To start off, at the middle of every month, I post a video or talk about one stadium I went to, so stay tuned for future videos from stadiums across the US. For the month of August, I am going to post a video where I talk about TruistPark and my experience there. For the next 30 months, I will go in order and tell you about every stadium I've been to across the US. When I post a video talking about a stadium I've been to, there will be two different versions. It will be a video where I talk about the stadium if I have already been there, but if it's a stadium I haven't been to yet, then I will post a video showing you the stadium. So right now I'm going to give you some background history about TruistPark. It's located in Atlanta. It's the home of the Braves. They broke ground for TruistPark in September 2014 and it opened in April of 2017. It has a seating capacity of over 41,000 seats, and TruistPark will host the 2021 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. So for the last few years, the Braves have only played in TruistPark since 2017. Now, when the ballpark opened, the ballpark was named SunTrust Park when it opened in 2017, and it was named SunTrust Park all the way until the end of the 2019 season. During the off-season before the start of the 2020 season, the ballpark changed its name from SunTrust Park, and now the ballpark is named TruistPark. Now, before the Braves played at TruistPark, starting in 2017, the Braves played at Turner Field from 1997 through 2016. Now, what's different from Turner Field to TruistPark? Well, Turner Field is right near downtown Atlanta, and Turner Field had a seating capacity of over 49,500 seats. Now, TruistPark is northwest of downtown Atlanta, and it's actually a few miles away from downtown Atlanta in the northwest part of the city. Also, what's different about TruistPark compared to Turner Field is the seating capacity. Turner Field had over 49,500 seats, and TruistPark has a lower seating capacity of just over 41,000 seats. So the two things that's different from Turner Field to TruistPark is, number one, the seating capacity. TruistPark has less seats than Turner Field, and number two, TruistPark is a few miles northwest of downtown Atlanta, and Turner Field is right by downtown Atlanta on the south side of the city. So what's different from Turner Field to TruistPark, and why did the Braves get a new ballpark and move from Turner Field to TruistPark? The Braves used to play at Turner Field, which is by downtown Atlanta. So why did the Braves move from Turner Field if it wasn't an old ballpark, and the Braves played there from 1997 to 2016? There were a few reasons why the Braves moved to a new ballpark. One of the main reasons wasn't because Turner Field was an old ballpark. The Braves didn't like being by downtown Atlanta, and they saw that the attendance to Braves games was decreasing and not a lot of fans went to the Braves games. And it wasn't because the ballpark was old. It's because the fans were saying, with the type of traffic that Atlanta has, in Turner Field being by downtown, the traffic congestion is just that bad. And Turner Field didn't have a lot of parking. That was one of the main reasons why a lot of Braves fans didn't go to Turner Field. And Turner Field was right by downtown Atlanta. Now the Braves figured out that most of their fans live on the north side of downtown Atlanta. So when the Braves decided to get a new ballpark and build a new ballpark, they decided to build it by where the fans live and come from. So the Braves landed up building the new ballpark, which is Truist Park, in the north part of the city, just northwest of downtown Atlanta. And it's only a few miles from downtown Atlanta to get to Truist Park. Now, Truist Park is the new home of the Braves since 2017. And the Braves fans do like the new ballpark, which is Truist Park, since it's in the north part of the city. It's just outside of downtown Atlanta. It's in the part of the city where most of the Braves fans live and come from, and it's a new ballpark, and it has a lot of unique features. It's a nice ballpark, and it has more parking. So the Braves fans like that the Braves got a new ballpark, and the new ballpark is nice, and it has more parking for the Braves fans. Now, regardless if you're a Braves fan or not, maybe you've been to Turner Field. If you're a Braves fan, it's very likely you've been to Turner Field. But regardless if you're a Braves fan or not, if you've been to Turner Field, it was a nice ballpark, and it really wasn't that old. But if you haven't been to Truist Park, especially if you're a Braves fan, I highly recommend that you go to Truist Park. It's a nice ballpark, and you definitely want to check it out if you get the opportunity to go to Atlanta. Truist Park would definitely be a ballpark you want to see. So what makes Truist Park unique? Well, it has a lot of unique features in the inside and the outside of the ballpark. It's a new ballpark, and it's only a few years old. And even though Turner Field wasn't an old ballpark, Truist Park is a new ballpark, and there's no doubt that it's nicer than Turner Field, even though Turner Field wasn't that old, and it was still a nice ballpark. Something that's unique about Atlanta, all their sports teams have gotten a new stadium in the last few years, which includes the Atlanta Falcons, the NFL football team, the Atlanta Braves, the Major League Baseball team, and the Atlanta Hawks, the NBA basketball team. All of the Braves' major sports teams had a previous stadium, which opened in the early or mid 1990s, and they only played in it up until about 2016, 2017. And then, within the last few years, all of the sports teams in Atlanta all got a new stadium. And now, all of the teams, which includes the Falcons, the Braves, and the Hawks, they all got a new stadium. So the Falcons and the Hawks got a new stadium right by downtown Atlanta, and the Braves got a new stadium just northwest, which is only a few miles out of downtown Atlanta. So just in the last few years, all of the major sports teams in Atlanta got a new stadium, and the previous stadium they played in they really didn't play that long in them since they opened in the early to mid 1990s, and they only played in them up until just the last few years. Even though those stadiums didn't look too old, and they weren't that old, all these teams already got a new stadium in the last few years. So what makes Truist Park unique is the unique features that it has inside of the ballpark and even outside of the ballpark. Truist Park has a water feature in center field, which is pretty similar to the type of water feature Coors Field has out in center field. And every time the Braves hit a home run or they win a game, you see that nice water feature in center field every time the Braves do something great, which includes a home run or winning a game. Also, the Braves have Monument Garden, which includes statues and other unique features right behind home plate on their main concourse. In Monument Garden, they have statues and plaques and different other types of memorabilia that honors all of the Braves' history from the past. And the Braves definitely have a lot of history from the past. So regardless if you're a Braves fan or not, and you go to Truist Park, you definitely need to check out the Monument Garden that is on the main concourse right behind home plate. It's unique and it's nice, and it also has a lot of unique features, statues, plaques, and other memorabilia from all of the history that the Braves have from the past. Also, regardless if you're a Braves fan or not, and you get the opportunity to go to Atlanta, you definitely want to check out Truist Park. Truist Park is a nice ballpark, and it has nice, unique features inside and outside of the ballpark. And regardless if you're a Braves fan or not, Truist Park is definitely a nice ballpark to watch a baseball game. Especially if you're a Braves fan, or even if you're not a Braves fan, it's a great ballpark to watch a baseball game. And no matter where you sit in the ballpark, you get a really nice view of the Braves game, and there's really not a bad seat to watch a Braves game inside of the ballpark. It doesn't matter if you're behind home plate, on the first or third base side, or out in center field, or you're sitting somewhere in the outfield. Anywhere you sit inside of Truist Park, you will get a nice view of the Braves game. So if you get the opportunity to go check out other Major League Baseball stadiums, you definitely want to check out Truist Park and go watch a Braves game there, regardless if you're a Braves fan or not. And if you're a Braves fan, you definitely need to check out Truist Park. So overall, Truist Park is a very nice ballpark, and I would highly recommend that you check out Truist Ballpark if you haven't been there yet. So I went to Truist Ballpark back in June of 2017, and I actually went to Truist Park the first year that it opened, and it was only a few months after the first game at Truist Park that I actually went to Truist Park to go see a Braves game. And overall, I really liked Truist Park, and it was a nice ballpark from the inside and even from the outside of the ballpark, and it has a lot of unique features. It's a very nice ballpark, and it's a great ballpark to watch a baseball game, regardless if you're a Braves fan or not. And I would highly recommend, if you get the opportunity to go to Atlanta, to go check out a Braves game at Truist Park, especially if you're someone that wants to go visit other Major League Baseball stadiums, you definitely want to check out TruistPark. Now, if you get the opportunity to go to Atlanta, you definitely want to check out downtown Atlanta and go to all of the top attractions Atlanta has to offer. There's no doubt that Atlanta has a lot to offer, whether it's the attractions in downtown Atlanta or if it's all the sports teams Atlanta has to offer, whether it's the Falcons, the Braves, or the Hawks. And if you go to Atlanta and you're a baseball fan, regardless if you're a Braves fan or not, you definitely want to check out TruistPark, which is the home of the Braves. Tune in to the next All Sports with Gerardo show next week. I want to say thank you to everybody that watches every episode of All Sports. Subscribe or like my pages on social media at All Sports with Gerardo. Until next time, this is Gerardo.